First visit came amid a debate in the United States of America, similar to the one that exists today, about how to view China's emergence. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I believed in 1979 and said so, and I believe now that a rising China is a positive development, not only for the people of China, but for the United States and the world as a whole. When President Obama and I took office in January of 2009, we made our relationship with China a top priority. So our desire for your prosperity is not born out of some nobility. It is in our self-interest that China continue to prosper. While the United States and China are working hard to get this right, we still face obstacles of doing business in each other's countries. That's why I acknowledge on this trip the United States should undertake to make it easier for Chinese business people to obtain visas to travel to the United States. It takes much too long for that to happen. That's not in our interest. And why we're in the midst, also it's the reason why President, once he took office, ordered, for the first time in decades, we're in the midst of a total reform of our export control system. I'm also proud that more than 160 Fortune 500 companies are operating in Chengdu high-tech zone, including pioneer American businesses like Intel, Dell, and Oracle. The U.S.-China relationship has also improved dramatically in the past 30 years. In order to cement this robust partnership, we have to go beyond close ties between Washington and Beijing, which we're working on every day. Go beyond it to include all levels of government. Go beyond it to include classrooms and laboratories, athletic fields, and boardrooms. That's why we launched our 100,000. President Obama and I will continue the important work of making this partnership even more positive, cooperative, and comprehensive in the coming years. And I hope that my visit can serve as a step toward these goals and toward strengthening that bond.
A champion of the American people and U.S.-China relations, Mr. Joe Biden.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm zero-sum game. I've said since I met with Deng Xiaoping as a young senator with very senior senators that China's economic growth is very much in the interest of the United States of America. Very much in our interest. In my meetings with President Xi, he and I spent a good deal of our time discussing the outcomes of China's third plenum. China's leaders have stated their ambition to move China toward a system where the market plays a, quote, decisive role. And I wish you all a great deal of luck because your success strengthens the entire relationship. And if we get this relationship right, together, China and America, the region and the world will be better off. China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They can't even figure out how to deal with the fact that they have this great division between the China Sea and the mountains in the east, in the west. They can't figure out how they're going to deal with the corruption that exists within the system. They're not bad folks, but guess what? They're not competition for us.
After the steel mills fell, it just all crumbled. I'm third generation. I've worked at a steel mill for a year and a half, and now the steel mill ain't even there.
This is just the way of the world. China is an economic rival to the United States. It does export, it does manufacture, and yes, it takes American jobs.
We want to see China rise. China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They're not bad folks. I believe then, and I'm even more convinced now, that a rising China is an incredibly positive development. China has made remarkable strides.
ABC News investigation this morning into Joe Biden's son Hunter and questions about money he made from foreign business dealings while his father was vice president.
And did Joe Biden allow it? We're talking about millions of dollars in at least 2 countries.
Did you talk about China or your deal with China?
No.
A 12-hour flight over?
No, of course not.
That never came up. No.
Less than 2 weeks after that trip, BHR Partners was launched, a private equity firm funded in part by Chinese banks.
He has come forward and said it was a mistake on his part to be on the board. My son's business dealings were not anything with everybody that he's talking about.
What's your understanding of what your son was doing for an extraordinary amount of money? I don't know what he was doing. I know he was on the board.
Hunter Biden holds an equity stake in a company that's taken over $1.5 billion in loans from the Chinese government. This is obviously an issue.
What they said is China would prefer Joe Biden.
China and Iran.
China and Iran.
China and Iran want to see Donald Trump's defeat, and they're looking for ways to make that happen.
China's a great nation, and we should hope for the continued expansion. Growth of China is overwhelmingly in our interest, and there's much more to come.
And now the steel mill ain't even there.